We take the shape of pain, our bodies giving like jello to its mold, until we own the curve and comfort, the contours of the crawl space in which we ache. Here is the place you will return to, or in reluctance, be returned to, the difficult position of a kneecap as your leg torques to kick yourself. Is that hurt still kicking at you? It feels like hell, and it feels like home. This next poem is called Long Distance, and it's about a pocket dial. You've called by accident. I hear through your jeans, car sounds, a radio turned too loud. I listen. Then there's a thump on my bed like a coin has fallen, and there by my hip is a penny-sized bug, its long antenna whiskering over my sheets. And I am shouting now, shouting your name in the phone so loud the neighbors must think we are fucking. My voice rising to a climactic pitch. There is such desire in it. Me wanting you here. I imagine the tiny wallop of my voice trying to sift through denim, through noise, as small and helpless as my younger sister, left behind once in a Shanghai intersection, her feather hand having slipped from mine. Taxis and rickshaws almost nicking her body, its long angle in terror becoming a stick. Next to that, this terror is nothing. A magazine or a shoe will do the work. And yet, you are this far away, I am thinking, and it means something that you do not know. Offering. The trouble is, we bring to others the things that we want brought to us, our assumptions feebly wrapping themselves in ribbons. The mouse my cat chased through the shadows of the unlit house was not what I wanted to wake to on my pillow. It should be enough, of course, to love one another, but every word we speak seems to pass through a game of telephone where one thing is said and another is heard. And I can't help but feel a little like that mouse who stumbled victim to a folly that would have at its guts. And I can't help but feel like the cat. How you must wonder at the unasked-for corpse I have strewn so lovingly across your pillow. And this is my attempt at a happier love poem. This is called Winter, El Capitan State Beach. I want to remember you in this light, not because we have pictures to prove it. Let memory do the work of memory. Remind me how you wore my scarf against your lips, how with each breath you spilled cold smoke into the air. The science says time's snap acceleration, which hurls us headlong from year to rushing year, is not the blight of growing older, but rather of growing too used to the world. Perhaps it's winter, the whole world lustering in the clarity and cold that has everything distilling into the preciousness of a moment, as though we've stopped along the horizontal axis of time to venture deeper into this vertical one. For a moment, it's like we've cheated death, finding so much joy as we lope from rock to rock along the beach, marveling at each new shade of incandescence, laminating the sea, the sky, the air we hold wordlessly between us. This next poem is called Modum Operandi, and because during the day I am a webmaster and SEO and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times the internet seeps into things. So this is one of the poems where that started to happen. The internet is a lonely place to be when you are alone, like everywhere else. There is no escaping yourself, reflected in the blankness of a loading page. The web spreads before you, its endless possibilities, promising a lifetime of instant streaming, and there is nothing you truly want to see. You find yourself looking at news stories you shouldn't, clicking on headlines you'd balk at in a grocery store queue. And then there's that moment where you reach out in your loneliness, hoping to find some inviting new space, and you realize the website you've typed into your browser is the same sad website you are already on. I've been there. I think a lot can be said about what website that is for each person. This is a very short poem. It's just called Poem. You are not at home, strung between conflicting desires, exposed, heavy, and hanging like wet laundry in the wind. Heart, come back into this chest and beat. And this is the last poem I'll read, which I wrote in an existential crisis, and I think you should always end on an existential crisis. Lilt. It's not enough to just live and be loved for the little things, the way a joke falls irreverently from your lips, quirks, the knowing silences you spread across a room like a yawn, and so many moments, afternoons in which the whole world tilts at a different axis because you were there to marvel at the light, to melt into it. But what else is there than to love the world a little harder, to immerse yourself in its excruciating joy?